back to the main quest, because we can't move on with side quests until we've finished at least both of these. Interdiction. Consult with the Axle in Cassidon's Hold. The Axle is the Enclave's leading representative for its famed crafting guilds. Eric mentioned that she could be a useful ally against the Surgeborn, but she's too busy dealing with the Hearthsider supply shortage to take action right now. But if I tackle the supply shortage, maybe she'd be willing to work with us on the Surgeborn. Erikim will join me to broker the alliance. All right.
The Axel mentioned you were asking about my dear friend, Matteo Agretius.
You were close?
Matteo was a great man. In the aftermath of the surge, he went back for families that couldn't evacuate to Nevron. Sadly, he passed away a few years ago. You were comparing mantles to see if there might be a family relation?
Aurea was hoping he might be her father, but it turns out he's not.
Unfortunate. What an impressive lineage she would have.
That ties into Where There's Smoke mission. And no, she got lucky. Because from what we've heard...
Isla,
Got it.
I know you're intrigued by the Oberon's lineage, but take care not to get caught up in your enthusiasm.
I won't.
Okay, that also ties into Aurea's past.
All this wreckage scattered throughout the room. Why haven't you guys cleaned it up?
Khan Stanild ordered us not to.
And that's because he wants to keep it messy?
Correct. Speaking frankly, my impression is that he wanted any visitors to feel as if we were still in a major state of crisis. Though visitors are few and far between. Upper government officials only, all of whom are working from offices with roofs. We are the lucky few over here, it seems. What a privilege it is to work in a building that is open to the weather. I understand the motivation of wanting to wait until we'd found everyone a place to live. But we achieved that 20 years ago. Thousands of survivors rehomed. And yet, I still have to step over puddles to get to my desk.
Of course I am paused right when I went to cough. Sorry. I'm still sick. Yeah, that is a bit odd. Interdiction.
I am simply telling you, as the foremost leader of the Enclave, that I don't want you getting distracted.
Can you clarify what you mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean. Eyes down, know your place. Focus on your own problems. Organize your little craftspeople. Keep the wheels of civilized society greased. And don't dare to presume you know better than me.
If you have a problem with my performance, you are welcome to gather feedback from the people who elected me. They may have a clearer understanding of what I bring to the table.
We'll continue this conversation later.
Khan Arteme, allow me to formally introduce you to Bryn, the Weaver Band's point.
You're the Axel, right? Arakim says you're a good person to know.
I am. My given name is Haroon, as Arakim said, but you may refer to me as Khan Arteme. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, despite the circumstances. And I wish they were better circumstances. The new Surgeborn threat requires us to realign our priorities. Some are a little slower on that than others.
If there's anything we can do to move things along, I'm at your disposal.
What about the supply shortage? I've seen her in combat. She's better than any of us.
What's her help look like? I'd prefer if she could avoid unleashing another apocalypse on us.
Okay, I thought Karn was that guy's name. Karn is his title. Okay. I didn't know Karn was a title. I can introduce her to my quartermaster or just flat offer help. We work as a team, so I'm gonna say this.
We didn't bring a lot with us, but if there's anything we can provide to you, our quartermaster, Casmin, will be happy to help. A decade working the maiden shipping lanes turned her hard as Khan steel.
She sounds lovely. But unfortunately, we're supplying 10,000 people, not 7 weavers and their pack beast. And I doubt you'd have enough on your caravan to make much of a difference. Fortunately, there's a silver lining to your Surgeborn mess that could solve the problem.
Count me in.
Right. With the Surgeborn unleashed, we're anticipating casualties and damage to our facilities. However, there's a restricted area in the underworks that we lost access to decades ago when the Eye sealed it. The Institute. An arcane laboratory where the Enclave conducted its enchantment research, among other projects. Inside the Institute lies a significant supply cache. Its contents will be enough to keep us going, for the time being. If the notes the previous Axel left me are accurate, though, there's an additional complication.
Of course.
The Surgeborn secure territory by building structures, akin to insect hives. The Institute is likely overrun with them, and has been for 20-odd years.
So, the Surgeborn are a long-standing threat to the Enclave.
I wish I were old enough to remember what it was like to live without the fear of the Surgeborn. As a child, I sat awake every night worrying about them. They were terrifying. Knowing what I know now, I should have been even more scared.
I'm sorry you went through that. It must have been horrible.
Thank you.
All the more reason to actually do something about the problem, instead of spending our lives cowering behind the walls of our glorious fortress.
You'll hear no disagreement from me, now that the game board has been upended.
Sounds like I need to clear any Surgeborn hives from the Institute, then.
That'll thin them out enough that my scouts will be able to access the supply cache without much trouble.
Now that Asylum is lifted, we should be able to access the loom gates in the Institute again. I'm going to trust you with this key swatch. It's been gathering dust for over 25 years.
Only the Eye would let such a crucial resource sit there for that long.
Yes. If we're clear on everything, I'll get back to work. My list of obligations grows by the minute. Someone has to keep this goddamn fortress running.
I was laughing because the Institute, the Enclave, the developers here clearly love Fallout, don't they?
What's your history here? Have you been the Axel for a long time?
Why do you care?
You seem like someone who deliberately underplays her hand. I'd hate to play a game of Panjal against you.
All right. I'll take that as a compliment. I was elected to this seat 8 years ago. I've done a good enough job to be re-elected.
Okay. Probe her motivations.
What made you decide to run for leadership?
My predecessor was incompetent and took bribes. The guild members tolerated it for a time, but eventually enough was enough. The Eye never seemed to have a problem with it, though.
Do you think he's taking bribes?
You really aren't afraid of asking dangerous questions, are you? I personally haven't seen any evidence of his corruption. He believes in his own judgment too much to accept a bribe. It's easier to bribe the lower-level guild members anyway.
Isn't that a bad thing?
The wheels of society must needs be greased. If they do any more than skim a little off the top, I'll come down hard on them. And that's why I've managed to keep my job. Well, part of why, anyway.
Okay. What's your relationship with the Eye?
How's your working relationship with the Eye? Is he your superior?
He would like to think so. His seat casts the final vote when the council cannot make a decision.
But his seat has more power than that.
Khan Stanield wields power beyond the traditional bounds of the Eye's seat, yes. But he is our savior, so surely he must know better than any of us. Which is to say, he is, technically, the highest-ranked official in the Enclave. But he hasn't faced an election in decades. In contrast, I have... let's call it... popular support.
Meaning you can overthrow him. Got it. What are your responsibilities?
So, what does an Axel do all day?
It varies. Some of my predecessors have been very hands-on, as befits a representative of the physical trades. That's not my strong suit, though, so I end up with my beak buried in paperwork. Maintaining supply lines, as it turns out, is considered extremely helpful.
Okay.
That all makes sense? Thanks for taking a moment to talk.
Destroy the Surgeborn hives near Expansion Cavern 36 in the Institute. The heart of innovation, known as the Institute, is now accessible via Loomgate. By the looks of it, I have 2 more locations I can go to. 3 fast travel points. Innovation and secrecy. Pipe's just leaking raw magic. Oh. We've already seen those guys, actually. Ooh, it's a big boy. Oh, are you a new one? I guess that makes sense that there would be a new one. I said there wasn't.
Welcome to the Institute. Every one of those constructs you've been beating on was conceived in these halls.
Imagine standing among those weavers in the Enclave's prime, fearlessly pushing the boundaries of enchanting.
Well, they broke everything too. Literally everything. So, they weren't that fantastic.
I did say we haven't encountered an ice version of the robots yet, so that makes sense. So we're going this
This
way.
passage must be the Enchanter's Way.
Icy boy. Sorry. But I can't hurt armored ones that are heavily armored, so I just gotta chuck them all. Oh, that freaking seeks me? Oh, nope. Okay. You two can fight.
Marked only as Expansion Cavern 36 on the map. Wonder what they were building.
I spoke to Khan Arteme about it, but unfortunately, anyone overseeing the plans for this was killed in the surge.
Okay.
First hive's up ahead.
Do we have any useful notes on the hives from the previous Axel?
Don't bother trying to deal with them. Too scary.
I'm beginning to get an inkling of why they replaced him.
Alright. Rampant growth. Likely fed by tangles so common in the Institute. You guys want to fight each other? Well, he blew up. Grabbing their shields. Don't attack it from the front. I'll just take damage. No, I still take damage no matter what. How did I break the last one? I just wailed on it with my sword. This one wasn't in the wall. I could hit it from... I was gonna say I could hit it from the back. Because that's how I destroyed the first one. But unfortunately, I can't because it's surrounded by gas, or tangles. me break this. It's gonna take forever.
Oh, it's brutal. Wish I could be out there with you.
I get the feeling the Eye would love to send you out among the surgeborn with
What do you think, Eric?
I'd go in a heartbeat, but I've got dozens of scouts to coordinate. Wouldn't wish that job on anyone else.
You know what? No, hey, he's my friend for now. And another one that's in a wall, so I can't do anything with it. Oh, you killed our buddy! I should have counted so I could see how long this takes me. Really nice if you would also attack this, you know. Hive husk fragments, strangely dry and cool.
The western circuit of musing. Easy to get lost in the Institute's intricate halls.
Hey, good job, buddy. Where's this final one at? Not down here. This is a totally different location. No! Oh, I could use that, though. No! You stop it. He is my friend until we no longer need him. And then you can kill him. Stop! Stop! Oh, I threw him into a cave that he didn't need to go into.
The dark water cistern. We could imagine there are many pools like this deeper into the underworks.
Where, Ow, ow! I let you live! You owe me! it. Wait. If you're wondering, it's because they could distract while I'm doing my shooting. Sixteen, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. God, fuck off! I am busy, and I've already forgotten how many I've counted now. It was 22? $23, $24, $25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. One, 32, 33, 34.
Nice work, King. Aaron, think that'll give the scouts some breathing room?
Absolutely. Khan Arteme will be thrilled.
Okay. About 35. Tangle touched high. Surgeborn relish in the excess of magic. Like us. So, put no focus into your bow, just know that it's about 35 bow shots. Unless you want to just run in there and hope you can. Oh, you're immune to kinetic. It's only fire. That's right. Well, those words are still on my screen. Hopefully that doesn't mean it's broken. Go ahead and head back. If I even can. Incident log. High casualties. A pod of sliders broke free, dated just before the surge. But how the heck do I get out of here? Wait, you're a projectile guy, huh? Oh, well. There was probably a fast travel point close to there. I just didn't want to keep running through it. Because I don't know if this mission's longer than it is or not. So if it's longer, I want to just get it over with. So yeah, a lot of these end up being like an hour long. Where am I going? Consult the axle and report back. And I have to go back home first because I can't just travel straight there. Even from the Institute, I can't just travel straight there. Okay, is there any talk before I head to go in? Also, did it add the new... It did. The Wintertide. Looks like there's no talk. You'd think if I left from Cassidon's thing, I could head back to Cassidon's hall?
If you're interrupting my petition reading time, I hope you're bringing me some good news.
Nothing but. The way's clear for the scouts to start retrieving those supplies.
Anything to add, Arakim?
I'm shaken to my core by the revelation that one can achieve things without forms signed in triplicate.
Interesting. I won't argue with success, especially when it keeps our people going. Bryn, since you've proven yourself useful, I've considered the ways in which you can assist us further. We'll need Isla's help for this next step, though.
Sorry, who?
The Spindle. My counterpart in the Enchanting Guild.
Oh, of course. Anyway, not a problem. I was planning on speaking to her soon.
I wonder how she's reacting to all of this. We haven't had a moment to speak in private since Asylum was undone.
Should I mention that you wanted to speak with her?
No, that's quite all right. She's very busy with her duties, as am I. We're both devoted to our positions. Anyway, please don't hesitate to put yourself at her disposal. She deserves the support.
Will do.
She blushed twice. Does that mean she has a crush on Isla? Probably.
2 crates of mantle supplies, 4 sets of Calm steel bearings, 3 sealed vats of data grease.
Sounds like a wild party you're preparing for.
Not really my scene, Bryn. Do you need something?
I wanted to pick your brains some more, if you've got time.
If I stare at this inventory list for a second longer, I may succumb to madness. Ask away.
What are your aspirations for the future?
Have you thought about what you might do once the Surgeborn are under control?
That's a big assumption. I don't know how things are outside of the Enclave, but in here, we live every day knowing we may not see the next. Doubly so now. Hope for the future is a luxury. We are thin on luxuries here.
Sure. But you have to start planning for the future someday. Would you ever consider running for the Eye's seat?
I would not presume to challenge him for it, even if an election presented the opportunity. If he tripped over his own feet and fell into the ocean, thereby vacating the position, that would be another matter entirely.
Wait, is there different options? Normally when you pick an option, it doesn't progress. It literally told me that if I pick an option, it doesn't progress. Okay, I guess I'll just dive into your personal life.
How's your relationship with the spindle?
Isla, it's fine. We have a good relationship, I think.
Do you enjoy working with her?
That is irrelevant to the demands of my work, but yes, she is kind and thoughtful and willing to compromise, despite everything.
Everything?
It's not my place to say.
Okay, but this one doesn't progress. It's so weird. Alright, you're being evasive.
So I take it that you're not happy with how the Eye is running things.
It is not my place to question his decisions. He sealed the Surgeborn away, saving us from annihilation.
But he doesn't seem to be happy with you. And you clearly disagree with him on some things. Wouldn't you be a better leader than him?
We have different opinions, but that doesn't mean I aspire to hold his seat. I'm focused on serving the people I represent. That's all.
I'm just stirring the pot unnecessarily now. Honestly, I'd just kill him. Wrap it up.
Well, thanks. Hope I didn't take up too much of your time. There's just so much to learn here.
It's fine. You're refreshingly nosy. Look at me, sounding like Arakim. Perhaps we did need a breath of fresh air in here.
I would rather not manipulate these two into taking him down when I could just kill him.
Khan Stanild, is now a good time to discuss the supply shortage?
Can't a man have a moment of peace between fires?
Not when the flames are licking at our feet.
We will discuss it later.
Yeah, I would rather not be a manipulative person. If I could just beat his ass instead of tricking other people into doing my work for me, I'd rather do that. Hey. This is how I talk to you. You are beneath me. In fact, can I stand on top of you? No? Right. Alright, good enough. You must look up to me.
I hear you've been accessing our supply caches in the underworks.
Not exactly. I've just been clearing the way for the scouts, as per the Axel's request. She says you've been short on supplies for quite some time.
Then there's no problem at all. Assuming you're telling the truth, that is.
No reason to lie. My band's work with the Axel benefits all of us. She gives us knowledge, and we help out everywhere we can. Win-win.
In time, your true intentions will reveal themselves. And first impressions have not served you well.
Yeah? Well, you're lucky I can't swing my sword in here, buddy. Okay, well. What's next?